I am so excited for this talk. I'm excited for all of them, but this one especially. So Scott Truelove, he lives in Sydney, Australia. He's come so far to see us. He lives there with his wife and dog. He's been a technical writer for the best part of 17 years and is still trying to figure out how to get devs and product people to speak English. Fighting words from Scott. He is a Star Wars and baseball tragic, and maybe I can relate. I think if I tried to play baseball, it'd be very tragic. With a very hotly discussed topic right now, navigating the future of technical writing in a rapidly evolving tech landscape, please help me welcome Scott to the stage. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. My name's Scott Truelove. I'm a senior technical writer at Rock at the moment. There's a lot of information out there about AI and how documentarians can use it. Some, if not most of you, have probably read it or seen videos or anything like that. And it varies very much from this is whiz-bang stuff and you have to get on board right now to the sky's falling and we're all going to die. And we're all going to lose all of our jobs and that's what's going to happen. It's not what's going to happen. So I've used a lot of this stuff to prepare for today's talk, along with my own trial and error and playing around and mucking around, to get to a place where hopefully you'll learn something today. So for what I get right, I thank those who have come before me, and for what I get wrong, it's completely my fault. First of all, though, I'd like to get some things straight right from the start. So most importantly, I'm not here to tell you that you must use AI in your day-to-day life, and you most definitely are not falling behind if you decide not to do it. You're at no risk of anything if you don't want to go down that path, that's fine. But each of us has seen changes in our lives, in our writing lives. So from the typewriter, becoming the word processor, becoming the personal computer, and we've decided to adopt those changes or not. Although I guess if you're still using a typewriter as a technical writer, it's probably time to move on, find something a little different. I'm going to let you make your own decisions on what you want to do based on my talk. I'm not going to pressure you into anything. But there's a lot of information out there. I've already said that already. You make your decisions based on that. So I believe in having fun. So I've got some memes and hopefully everybody can see them. Oh yeah, it's really big, isn't it? Wow. Okay, so here we go. In the days before OpenAI, a developer would code for 2 hours and then debug for 6 hours. After OpenAI, ChatGPT writes it in 5 minutes and then the developer debugs it. I've got a little anecdote about that a little bit later on. This one's actually my favourite. There's heaps and heaps of AI memes out there, but this one's actually my favourite. Anybody in my generation? And this, I have to thank, I can't even remember who it was, but somebody from Write the Docs sent me this, so I love this one. So ChatGPT, and who's under the mask? It's Clippy! We all love Clippy. Okay. As documentarians, we live in an era of constant change. The tech landscape is evolving at an unprecedented pace, with new technologies, tools and platforms emerging almost daily, and product life cycles becoming increasingly shorter. As we strive to communicate complex technical concepts to diverse audiences, we face unique challenges and opportunities in navigating the future of technical writing. The main focus of my talk today will revolve around artificial intelligence, its effect on our industry, and how we can leverage it to be more productive, consistent, and provide us with more time to work on higher leverage tasks. Generally, I'll be talking about ChatGPT in my examples. However, there's heaps of alternatives already out there, such as Jasper AI, Google Bard, and ChatSonic, along with AI art and image generators like OpenAI's DALL-E. I'm not going to spend time talking about how AI works. There's plenty of articles and videos and all that sort of stuff that you can go and search for online to read about, to learn about that. But what I'm going to do is discuss some of the benefits and challenges that we as documentarians encounter. And what we'll also take a look at is how we might be able to use AI efficiently, and then some examples of what we can do with AI. And I think I need to slow down because I'm going too fast. Sorry. Okay, so first of all, let's have a look at the history of AI, how it all came about. So in the 1950s and 60s, early AI research focused on rule-based systems and natural language understanding, laying the groundwork for future advancements in natural language processing, or in NLP, and machine learning, ML. In the 70s and 80s, early attempts at machine translation systems emerged using rule-based approaches that required extensive manual coding and had limited accuracy. In the 90s and 2000s, early 2000s, statistical approaches to NLP and ML gained popularity, leading to advancements in language modelling, part of speech tagging, and language processing tasks. In the late 2000s and early 2010s, with the advent of deep learning, significant breakthroughs were made in NLP, including the development of neural machine translating models, and that greatly improved the translation accuracy from previous. In 2013, Google released Word2Vec, a popular and influential tool embedded model paving the way for advancements in text generation and language understanding. Then in 2018, according to some, the world started to end, when OpenAI introduced GPT-2, which was the predecessor of what we've got now, the GPT-4. State-of-the-art language model with advanced capabilities in text generation, including fine-grained control and high-quality outputs. In 2019, AutoML, an automated machine learning approach, gained popularity, enabling non-experts to build ML models, including NLP models, with ease. And now, today, we've got AI technologies including autocomplete, grammar and spelling checking tools, and leveraging tools like ChatGPT, and they become widely available. So this timeline provides a context and perspective on the evolution of AI technologies and their impact on technical writing. It shows how AI has progressed from early rule-based systems to more sophisticated statistical and deep learning approaches, leading to advancements in NLP and ML that have greatly influenced the field of technical writing. But we already use AI, and we have been for years. I just mentioned autocomplete. So AI has been around for a long time. The background of what we now see with ChatGPT and all these other chatbots has been around for a long time. So autocomplete, everybody would have used. It's a common technology that many of us see on a day-to-day basis. It leverages AI algorithms to predict and suggest words or phrases as you type based on the context of the content being written. So this can save time and effort by providing suggestions for completing words, phrases, or even entire sentences, and reducing the need to type out repetitive or complex technical terms. Second thing is Grammarly. So show of hands, who hasn't used Grammarly? Hasn't? Wow, that's awesome. I'll tell you all about it then. So it's an AI-powered writing assistant that uses advanced algorithms to analyse and provide suggestions for grammar, spelling, punctuation, and writing style. It can also look at your sentence structure, it can look at your paragraph structure, and it can suggest more readability changes. Grammarly can significantly enhance the quality and correctness of technical writing. Whoops, sorry. By ensuring consistency in writing style and tone. There are also language translation tools, Google Translate, those sorts of things that utilise machine learning algorithms to automatically translate text from one language to another. We can leverage those tools if we need to translate or localise our documentation. So all of these things have been around for quite a while. We've also got natural language processing tools, so tools such as IBM Watson, and Microsoft Azure Text Analytics use AI algorithms to analyse and extract insights from text data. They can be used to automate tasks such as content analysis, sentiment analysis, and entity recognition in technical documentation. So these are just a few examples. Sorry, I keep doing this. These are just a few examples of the AI technologies that you may, which we've just found out some of you aren't, you may be using, and we can use these to leverage AI algorithms to assist with content generation, grammar and spell checking, language suggestions, translation, and other text analysis. But you're probably wondering why I'm talking about all this, so I think we need a bit of a background in it, but let's get on to what hopefully you actually came here to listen to. Some of the benefits that we could see as documentarians from using AI technologies, increased productivity. So AI technologies can significantly increase the productivity of documentarians by automating repetitive tasks such as content generation, editing and reviewing. This allows us to focus on higher level tasks such as content strategy and organisation, resulting in more efficient and streamlined content creation process. Improve content quality. So they can help improve the quality of documentation by providing suggestions for better grammar, spelling and language usage. ChatGPT, which is a language generator, has capabilities of and contextual understanding. It can generate text that is coherent, relevant and user-friendly, resulting in higher quality content. And advanced collaboration. So we already collaborate, hopefully, with our fellow team members, but AI can facilitate collaboration among technical writers by providing real-time feedback and suggestions during content creation. And AI can serve as a virtual writing assistant, offering suggestions and insights to improve the content, which can enhance collaboration among team members and result in better content outcomes. But with benefits, there are also drawbacks. To start with, AI is a fantastic liar. Absolutely fantastic liar. Earlier in the year, when all this stuff about ChatGPT and Google Bard and everything first blew up, I was sitting with a mate and he decided that he wanted to ChatGPT himself. He put in his name, he put in some information about himself, and he was told by ChatGPT that he was an international rugby player for Thailand. That's true. He was also told he was a front row forward. Not true. He was told that he played in the 2006 Rugby World Cup. There was no 2006 Rugby World Cup. He's never played in the Rugby World Cup. But then the most interesting thing, he was told that he'd signed a contract to play professional rugby in England, and he was a very successful rugby player. Unfortunately for my friend, that's also not true. Okay, so you can see that it makes stuff up when it doesn't know the answer sometimes. It has no new ideas. So AI has some serious concerns around AI tools use existing data for content. So this means they can't come up with fresh ideas or original content. AI tools make it hard to come up with new content without knowing about the latest trending ideas and topics. So at the moment, I think we're still back at 2021. So for its learning, so it won't know anything that's happened in the last couple of years. The quality, there are quality concerns and plagiarism concerns. So apart from lying, apart from no new ideas, there's no way we can tell where AI gets its answers from. It doesn't show its work unless we specifically ask it to, and then we still don't know whether that's actually showing us its work or it's just running off an algorithm. We know that it's learned something from the internet up to around about 2021, as I said, but apart from that, we really can't tell where the information comes from. AI makes mistakes. So AI is prone to making mistakes, especially if your input has mistakes in it. So imagine, if you will, that you are writing some code and you would ask ChatGPT to continue writing the code for you and give it instructions, but your code has bugs through it. What ChatGPT and all of the other AIs at the moment, as far as I'm aware, will do is they will see your buggy code. They will assume that you want buggy code back, and they will give you buggy code. Hence, what we saw before. Okay. But what I wanted to talk to you about as well was how we can utilise best AI for what we're doing. And the only way to do that is to use prompts. So the prompts are the key to the engine for API. They're a powerful tool for improving the performance of chatbots like ChatGPT. So by providing specific contents or topics for the chatbot to generate responses on prompts, helps the chatbot stay on topic and produce more relevant and helpful responses. And so why would we use prompts? Why would you want to get... This is the key to everything if you want to use AI. But why would we want to get better at writing prompts for AI? So the first thing is to improve relevance. So providing a specific prompt can guide the AI to generate responses that are more relevant to your specific needs and or interests. For example, if you provide a prompt like, how do I fix a broken dishwasher? It'll tell you very specifically how to fix the broken dishwasher. The problem is, though, it won't know unless you tell it what actually is wrong with the dishwasher. So you would need to build on that. It will provide reduced ambiguity. So prompts can help you to reduce ambiguity in the chatbot's responses by providing clear and specific prompt. You can help to ensure that AI understands exactly what you're asking for and can provide a clear and concise response and improve accuracy. So by providing prompts, you can help to ensure that the AI generated responses that are accurate and accurate and informative. So how do we do it? And I'm going to spend a little bit more time after this slide talking about how we do it. But we do it by, so counter to everything that you know. More is more when it comes to AI prompts. So we're always taught or asked as documentarians to write as little as we possibly can and convey the information. It's completely the other way around with an AI prompt. So the more information you can provide, the better. And remember that AI can't think for itself. You have to be very specific when you're asking it. You need to stack your prompts. And what do I mean by that? So you need to build your prompt from the ground up and stack prompts on top of one another. So for example, write a document about how to use Google. It needs to be written in a conversational language and in a way that a 5-year-old can understand it, as opposed to just write a document about how to use Google. That's what I mean by stacking. There was three things there that I specifically asked it to do. And I'm sure we've all heard this before. Iterate, iterate, iterate. If you don't like the answer you get or it doesn't work for you, rewrite the prompt and try again. So, more on building prompts. So to build prompts for an AI, here's a few tips. So be clear and specific. Your prompts should be clear and specifically state the information or action that you're seeking from the AI. So this will help the AI model better understand your query and provide more accurate responses. Use natural language. ChatGPT is designed, or other AI bots are designed to understand and generate natural language responses. So don't use jargon, don't use technical terms. The best way to do it is just to use your natural language. There's a hint there in it. It's called a chat bot. Chatting, I suppose. Provide context. So give ChatGPT or anything else. Sorry, I keep saying ChatGPT because that's what I've written here. Enough context to understand what you're asking. So this could include background information, relevant details, or examples to help the AI better understand your question. Simple, something that we all forget. Ask open-ended questions. Along with all the other things that I said about AI, it is lazy. It will give you a yes-no answer if it can give you a yes-no answer. So make sure you use open-ended questions. We've already spoke about this. I called it stacking. Use multiple prompts. So stack prompts one on top of the other to get more specific and ask all the questions you need to. And experiment. Experiment with different prompts. AI is a powerful tool that can generate a wide range of responses. And one of the things that I like to do just for a bit of fun, which probably tell you how weird I am, is when you go into ChatGPT or you go into another AI, it'll generate an answer for you, and then immediately a little button will come up, which you'll see shortly, that says regenerate answer. And I like to click on regenerate answer and see how different the answer is to the one before. It's quite interesting how how different things are and how different things get when it's regenerating things. So one thing to remember though, when you're building these prompts, these are language models, and the responses are generated based on data that it was trained in. So while prompts can help improve the accuracy of the responses, there still may be limitations and inconsistencies to the responses generated. Okay, so righto. Let's have a look at just some of the things that we as documentarians can use AI for. This is not an exhaustive list. If I were to do an exhaustive list, I would probably be up here for another 45 minutes or longer, but let's just have a look at some of the things. Just a heads up, there's after this, I've got coming up some repeated GIFs or GIFs, depending on who you are and where you come from. And so they're repeating, so they may upset some neurodiverse attendees potentially, so yeah. So what can we do? So transform text into instructions. We can use AI for persona-based content. We can give more context. We can edit. We can use it for taxonomy help and for localization. So what I've done here on the next few pages is I've just done some examples. They're very generic examples. Most of them have been taken from Google. One of the things that you shouldn't do, and I'm going to mention this later as well, but one thing that you definitely should not do is put personal or proprietary information into chatbots. Please don't. It saves everything that it does, and you don't want that happening. Elon will end up with it. Okay, so in this example, I've asked ChatGPT just to take a paragraph that tells us how to compose an email using a Gmail on my Android phone and convert it to a number of instructions. So you can see that what it's done, it's taken all the information that I've given it. It has then just generated the response underneath, and you can see down the bottom there's the regenerate response thing. And what I've instructed it to do is put it into numbered form. So that's a great way of generating maybe a first draft. You can possibly get some information from product or from somebody else, which is in the form of a paragraph. This will help you generate a first draft for instructions. Okay, persona-based content. So here what I've done is taken some information from Google about their APIs and asked the chatbot to rewrite it so that someone with no experience in tech can read it. And so it generates a document that says, starts off with, there's a service called Docs API that lets you do things like create and edit documents. I'm not going to read it all. But so by doing that, I've actually asked it, if we go back to the top, when it goes back to the top, so I've asked it to rewrite it so a person with no tech has done it. I'm sure, for the writers out there, I'm sure you've got personas that you use, and maybe you target your documentation to different documentation, different personas. So that's a way that you can help target that. Okay, so in this one, I've taken some deliberately incorrect information and I asked for it to be checked. So what I said was that the Battle of Hastings was fought on the 14th of December 2015 between the Lilliputian army of William, the Duke of Normandy, and an English army under the Anglo-Saxon King Harold of Hunkyland, beginning the Norman conquest of England. It took place approximately 7 miles or 11 kilometres northwest of London in a place called Hastings, close to the present-day town of Yavan-4, East Sussex, and was a decisive victory for the clone army of the Republic. What it does now is it tells me I'm wrong. So it then rewrites it. So yes, I'm sorry, there's several inaccuracies. Battle of Hastings wasn't in 2015, clearly. The clone army of the Republic didn't win. Yavin 4, that says something about Yavin 4's a city in Star Wars. So there you go, there's an example of it getting things wrong, because Yavin 4 is actually a moon. But there you go. So even when I've asked it to provide correct information for me, it's still got it wrong. Okay, so now we're going to get more into building prompts. So what I've asked it to do here is I've put a number of prompts together. So develop a clear information architecture for a documentation site for a new app called Find My Dog that helps people find their missing dogs through a tag in their collars that connects to a smartphone. Users need to be able to know how to set up the app and how to access it with their phone. And this site also needs to incorporate filtering options and user-friendly search functionality. So it does a really good job of actually building out a taxonomy or an IA or whatever you'd like to call it. And the more information that I've given it, so I've given it a lot of information there, the more specific it's going to give me as an answer. And finally, I've asked the bot to translate some text into Japanese and layering the prompt to say, let's do it in conversational Japanese. So you could do the same thing with Mandarin, you could do the same thing with French or German or whatever. The key thing here with this particularly is don't trust what it says. I did this to translate some of my own stuff into Japanese. We're doing some translating our docs into Japanese. I sent it off to a colleague of mine in our Tokyo office, and he came back and said, yes, that's great. Apart from the fact that, I don't even know why, but the word car park was in there or something. And he said, that's great. I understand exactly what a car park is, but nobody else in Japan would. So just be really, really careful with translation. Okay. Really quickly, because I'm running over, a couple of things that I wanted to call out about best practices. So we need to develop best practices to do this. Yes, thank you. You heard that, didn't you? I apologise. We need to develop some best practices. So I tried to come up with a few. So number one, there's so many tools out there. Make sure you select the right tool for your specific task. Number two, try to integrate it into your existing workflows. Identify stages in your content creation process where AI tools can be most effective and integrate them accordingly. Evaluate and validate. I just gave you a story about evaluating things, making sure that the information that you get out of there is correct. You are never going to be replaced by AI technology. You still need to have the human touch. You still need to be there and check what it gives you. And here we go again, maintain a human touch. So it's really crucial. Avoid over-reliance on AI-generated content. As I said, it's not going to generate all your content for you. You're going to end up with a lot of, you're probably best off just to use it at the moment to start the process of doc writing and then iterate on top of that yourself. Stay updated on everything that's going on. Really important one, consider legal and ethical implications of using AI. There's not been any legal challenges yet. It'll be coming. Keep up to date. As I said before, really, really, really important, don't add personal or sensitive information into any AI chatbots. It gets saved, it goes somewhere. I don't know where it goes, but just don't do it. Quickly, a couple of recommended tools. So there's AI PRM for ChatGPT, which allows you to, it hooks into ChatGPT. It's a plugin for Chrome, and it allows you to generate and save prompts. The same goes for, so there's also GPT for Sheets and Docs, which is a plugin that you can have for docs that edits and summarises spreadsheets, organises things and generates new content for you like blogs and emails. ChatGPT Prompt Genius is similar to AI PRM. And you might have noticed that I've got some weird pictures. Like, they don't really relate to anything. One of the first things that I did was I went onto these art generating tools, and all of the images in here, apart from the logos, I've just generated myself from a thing called Night Cafe. It's free, so it's good. You get five tokens a day or something that you can spend, but it's really good. And I would recommend anybody do it because it really helped me with learning about how to stack prompts, because that's what you've got to do to generate images like that. And I think that's a pretty good image. It's quite pretty. Okay, so I'll end it there because I've gone over time. But thank you very, very much for listening. And I want to say thank you to Write the Docs for letting me talk to you. And yeah, thanks, guys. Put that back there.
Thank you so much for that, Scott.
That's all right.
Yeah. Oh, you're so casual about it, but I think we're all so happy to hear what you think
I'm
about
still
this.
panicking, so.
You're really good at hiding it. The first question that people are dying to know is, I like how they phrased it, what's that jazz in the bottom left of your slides?
Does anybody know? Yay! Does anybody know what it said? Yes, it is. Yes, this is the way, was it? So it's Aurebesh. It's the language of Star Wars. And it said, to anybody who can understand Aurebesh, thank you for listening to my talk. This is the way.
That's the nicest hidden message I've ever seen. I was with AI, it could be something very robot rebellion. So it's nice. Okay, perfect.
No.
We've got questions from people, I think, who I think the attitude towards AI is a very interesting mix of excitement and trepidation.
Yep.
And when you have people whose careers are in writing and you have a tool that writes, it can be a really scary thing.
Yep.
So we've got a question. Why should I think of AI as anything other than a way for organizations to shrink tech writing departments and reassign writers as gig-based AI editors?
Great question. Mm-hmm. I've spent a lot of time myself thinking about this, and I sort of was an early adopter because I saw it as a way that I could actually, as I said during the talk, get away from doing those drudging things and get more involved and looking at the future of my documentation and where it can go. There's nothing stopping a company from getting rid of their tech writers. I'm not going to lie to you. There's nothing stopping a company from getting rid of their tech writers and telling people to go ahead and do this. It's a language tool. It's, at the moment, all I can ever see is it being a language tool. There will be companies that do that, I'm sure, but there will also be the companies that flounder because of it. Because you still need the human touch. You still need the human side. AI doesn't have empathy. AI only can generate information from what it's given. And you, as I said, you can put the information in, but you're still going to need people to iterate on it. You're still going to need people to edit it. You're still going to need people to make it look good and make it user friendly as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like every tool has its applications and misapplications, and so it's a matter of finding where that sweet spot is.
Correct.
Right. Nathan has an interesting question. You say tech writers shouldn't worry about our jobs disappearing because AI is so imperfect. Do you think you'd be able to give the same talk next year?
Yeah, I think I would. As I said, it may not be the same in 5 or 10 years. Mm-hmm. The AI tools that we've seen, as I said, we've been using AI tools forever. This is just the next step. Who's to say what the next steps are going to be? But I don't think in 12 months' time it's going to be that much different.
Right, interesting. There was a similar question. How do you distinguish between what you think are current versus inherent drawbacks to AI? Do you think that there's even a way to know the difference right now?
I think at the moment there's probably not, just because AI is not a real-time tool. Mm-hmm. As we said, it's been trained up to around about 2021. And when we say trained, it's only being told what's good information and what's bad information.
Right.
But inherently, everything at the moment, we can't really tell what the difference is between current issues and inherent issues. That may change in the future, but I don't work in AI, so I just have an interest in it. And like we've got a lot of people at the moment asking to stop the development of AI, so that might happen. And
do you think it will?
I don't think so. Well, when we have people like Elon and professors at Stanford saying it's time to stop it now before it gets out of hand, I don't know whether that's the sky is falling, as I said in my talk, or they just want to wait until they can actually monetize it.
One person asks, to me, AI text often reads as if it were written by a competent 8th grader. When do you foresee the technology becoming not just accurate, but eloquent?
So that has a lot to do with the learning capability of it.
Yeah.
And people confuse the learning capability of it with the ability for it to become sentient, which is not... I think we're a long way, if ever, from the fact that it'll become sentient. But the only thing that you can do to make this better, and on the slides that I showed with the ChatGPT responses, you can give feedback. You can say yes, it's a good response or not, just by a simple thumbs up or thumbs down. There are other ways that you can give feedback as well. You can tell it that. No, this is not the answer that I was looking for. I need this for an audience that's, a postgraduate audience or something like that, and it will rewrite, and it gives you the ability to do that.
Very good 8th grader there.
Yep.
And we've got, I'll combine a couple of questions to close it out. You touched on security at the end. I think people are wondering if you're worried about security issues or legal issues and you don't want to put in super specific information, what's the best way to work around those concerns with AI?
I'm not too concerned myself about it. As long as you use common sense. I mean, you got to remember that whatever you put in here is just akin to putting it out there on the internet anywhere. There's so many places to get hacked these days. It's always an issue. So you just need to make sure that you remain cognizant of that.
Yeah.
I said be as specific as possible, but if there's no way that you can get around putting that information in there, I guess the only thing that I could say to you would be, with that, be as generic as possible. So it goes against what I was saying, but it's the same sort of thing. It's the same sort of thing that you take security by putting your credit card information online. You don't put your credit card in a website that doesn't have the padlock and that sort of stuff. So it's just,
right.
Yeah.
Living dangerously.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Scott. So much food for thought here, and I'm excited to see what happens in the future. Thank you.
Thank you.